Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be reading from the r/nosleep subreddit. So let's get into it. It watches me through the mirror. This happened when I was about 8 years old. It was summer vacation, and my sister and I were spending the night at our grandparents' house. We were staying in my aunt's old room. Now, this is important because there was only one window in that room, which was blocked by a bookshelf filled with porcelain dolls, so no light could get through. At night, I got really scared for no apparent reason. I told my parents, but they said it was just a nightmare. They tucked me in and left. One of them was trying to open the door from the other side while calling out my name. I don't know how long they struggled, but eventually they broke down the door and came rushing inside. Almost every family we knew came by to see my wounds. I mean, almost every single one. My aunt cleaned it out and converted it into an office. If you liked it, please hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing. Also, if you have a story you want to share, follow the submission guidelines in the pinned comment. Till next time, goodbye. I kept quiet about that summer until about a year ago when my sister decided to clean out the attic. While she was cleaning, she found a box full of my things, including the pajamas I was wearing the night it all happened. She asked me if I wanted them, and I told her to throw them away. She didn't listen and gave them to my mom. My mom then asked if she could show them to our friends and relatives. I told her no, but she did it anyway.
Oh.
All of our relatives came over to take a look at the pajamas. And while they were looking at it, one of our relatives pointed out a strange stain. It was right where the neck would be, and it looked like a set of teeth marks. Some of them said it probably just looked like that, and others said it must have been a branch or something. I told them it was a bite mark. Then I grabbed the pajamas and ran to my car. I haven't spoken to any of them since. I don't want to speak about it either. I think the only people who didn't come by were our neighbors, because their kid was in foster care. Well, anyway, almost every family brought their kid. A doctor examined my wounds and said that they were most likely caused by a wild animal. He even showed us pictures of what he believed was a mountain lion. I never saw those pictures, but I heard about them. According to the doctor, it was probably a mother protecting her young. I also heard the local cops talking about a string of similar incidents happening throughout the area, but none of them had proof, so it was hard to say whether they were true or not. They both looked haggard and scared. They asked me what happened and why I was hiding under the bed. I told them about the creature and they laughed. They said I was having a nightmare, and that there was no way something could get in because the window was locked. I knew they didn't believe me, but I was too scared to argue. I just nodded and hugged my mom. A few hours later, I woke up again, this time to the sound of someone walking around the room. When I woke up the next morning, the room was empty. My parents were probably downstairs eating breakfast with my grandparents. I got out of bed, threw off the blankets, and noticed scratches all over my legs and feet. I don't remember if I made a fuss about it, or if I just went downstairs. What I do remember is that my grandmother grabbed my hands and started examining the scratches. She then looked at me, her face pale and eyes wide. She immediately started yelling at my parents, asking how they could have let this happen. That's when my dad noticed the scratches for the first time. He scooped me up and ran outside. I started crying again, but this time more out of fear than anything else. My parents came in again and checked under the bed and in the closet. I called out for my parents, but they didn't come. Maybe they thought I was having another nightmare. I don't know. I got out of bed to go look for them. The door to the room was slightly open. I tried to push it open further, but it wouldn't budge. So I looked through the crack and saw a dark figure standing in the hallway with its back towards me. The creature had its arms outstretched, almost like it was trying to push the door open from the other side. I ran back to bed and hid under the blankets. They even opened the window to check if something wasn't getting in. But of course, nothing was there. Once again, they tucked me in, but not before I asked them to leave the light on. They agreed and left. I don't know how long I spent awake after that, but eventually I fell asleep. Sometime during the night, the light turned off and I instantly woke up. The only light in the room came from the street lamp outside the window. Sitting on the windowsill was a tall, thin figure. I couldn't make out any features because it was pitch black except for its eyes. They were yellow and glowing. I remember staring at each other for what felt like an eternity. Then the creature slowly walked towards me while keeping its eyes fixed on mine. I screamed, pulled the covers over my head, and squeezed my eyes shut. When I peeked out from under the blanket, the creature was gone. Then I heard my parents talking outside the door. I don't remember what they said, but it sounded urgent. Then they started knocking on the door. I don't remember much after that. I think I took a sleeping pill or something. We were living in a small town, so word traveled fast. Years passed and the scratches faded away. I never went back to that room. Thank you for listening to my story.